All right. We are live, everybody. And just like I promised you, this is the first show of the new year, 2021. And it is being produced, executive produced by the same person who executive produced my show last year with the lady who turned 111. So, yes, I got a chance to interview her. She since went on, turned in her ticket and got God to bring her on home. But yeah, 111. And I interviewed
Yeah.
her this time last year.
Wow.
So here I am again
Well, I'm not
interviewing
turning in my
somebody.
ticket at the end of this year.
He's almost 111. He's not going to tell you guys that. No, I'm just joking.
And I'm
Everybody,
still not turning
welcome.
in my ticket at the end
He's
of this
like
year.
our brother already. Everybody, welcome for the very first time and not the last time.
No.
Paul Showtime Gaffney, and we'll tell you all about him. I know you already know, but there's some stuff we're going to share too that you didn't know. Welcome
Uh-oh.
everybody in, and welcome to you, Paul.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me to the show. I've been looking forward to it for over a week. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk.
We have so much to talk about, and I want to invite everybody to send your comments. And we're getting love already. They're sending love and hearts and stuff. And so, what's happening, Paul? We are on about 5 of my Facebook pages,
Wow.
Periscope, and about 3 of my YouTube channels, and some other stuff. So, all at the same time. So, we got people all over the world listening to us because you're world known. So, glad you're here. Let's just get in with how in the world did you get? We're gonna do Globetrotters, and then we're gonna do GAPA and the WPBA, and then everything in between.
Hey, we do it all together, baby. Let's
There
make it
you go.
work.
No
Let's
rhyme
make
or
it work.
reason. So everybody knows you as Showtime because I was telling my son that I was interviewing. He's in broadcasting, video, and media. He will get that degree. He's been a senior for 2 years now at the University of Memphis, but he's coming out this year. And I was like, I'm interviewing. He's, oh, mom, that's great. I said, yeah, it's Showtime. And the whole dynamic changed. He was like, Showtime. That's the favorite one.
I'm happy about that. I think for a young man of that stature and what he's doing right now, to be able to get excited about a gentleman that played a few years ago.
Yeah, you're so funny. A few years ago, and you will always be that person because you have such a phenomenal presence on the court and off the court, and people will learn that today. And so, Tracy, Terry Tatar, Nick Nova, who's a spoken word, we got so many people watching and listening. So, like my sons, that people say about them, they defied the odds. You certainly defied the odds. Your mom had two choices: have an
Right.
abortion or give you up for adoption. She chose the latter. So kind of fill us in on that.
Um, that's basically it. Back then, during the late '60s, is that it wasn't as popular or as acceptable to have two kids, especially without being married, um, as a teenager, pretty much. And so at that moment, her mom told her, "Look, your second child, you either have to get an adoption or abort this child." And it was hard for her, but I'm glad she chose to give up to adoption. The parents that I went to at birth, um, and I didn't even know I was adopted until I was probably 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. Um, but my mom, I call my mom, um, she was my mom. It was,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, it's around this time, well, on the 18th of January, um, my birthday is the 26th, so I'll be expecting a card with some gift cards inside that card. But
And
anyway,
mine's on the 28th, so you got to do the same thing, sir.
oh, we were turning around. I send it right back to you. But so make it good.
Yep.
Uh, so at that time, on the 18th, she passed. She had a heart attack, and we were in the house together. And from that point, it was my father and I. He single parent. It's really unusual for a father to be a single parent of a young man at that age. Um, Came from a rural area in Kentucky, adopted. I had all the things that society would say you won't be successful with. So God has orchestrated my life before birth, and it's just been great. It's been a great journey, great learning experience, and you learn from that. You know, I got a lot of family members that are actually not blood, because I just know the meaning of adoption and meaning of what you say. If I have family that I didn't even grow up with, but they're closer than anybody that with blood. So it's a great thing. It's really a great thing. He always put people in place when you need it.
I definitely agree to that. So, somebody who's listening say, well, he's a former Harlem Globetrotter. Once a Globetrotter, you always are. But we say that so they don't look for
Yeah,
you at the next game.
right.
But he came from, his mom having to make a tough decision that any mother would have to make. And here he is sharing his story and he's actually a living legend. You really are a living legend. You're so modest and he's so fun. He reminds me, Monica, he reminds me of Nicholas, who's on, Nicholas, my spoken word artist. And,
Oh,
I wanted to make sure that they live beyond the stereotype. So you are definitely an epitome of somebody rising above what society would say. So what do you say to somebody who may be going through that? Maybe they're the mom or the dad raising their child, by themselves. What can you say to them to keep them going?
only thing I can say is that what my dad said, and he told me that once she passed, and he was very hurt, but he held me in his arms in a rocking chair, and we had that rocking chair. Basically, it didn't. I don't know. And we moved, had new furniture, but that rocking chair didn't never move. It was a recliner. He was in a recliner, and he said, he prayed. He said, "Father, just give me the strength to raise this boy, um, and I would do everything that I in my power, and with your power to help him raise it." And I was probably 26 when he passed. Um, he told my wife's family. Um, he passed that next year. Actually, about 6 months after that, he said, "Now I know Now I know that he's safe, and he's with a good people, and I'm ready to go home." So it was amazing. And he only got sick maybe one time. He was in his 60s when we got adopted. When I was adopted, and he died at 86. And
Oh,
he drove from Kentucky to. I went to I was going to Kentucky. They had a coaching change. I went to school in Alabama. Then I went to transferred, went to school in Tennessee. He drove. He came to games. He was at all my little league, high school, all kind of games of that nature. He was always there. I wish I could be half of the father that he was to me, to my kids.
I'm sure because you come from good stock and they poured into you that he's very proud of you now. And I'm sure as a dad, you're making him very, very proud, and your moms too.
Thank you.
So that's his story. Nobody would believe that if they hadn't heard you say it, because when you on that court, you own it. And I got the chance to watch some footage of you performing as Showtime as a Harlem Globetrotter. And then I got the chance to, I'm loving these comments. They are loving you. You are like a showstopper, Showtime. And so thank you guys so much for your loving comments. I'll share some with him. And Marsha Claiborne, one of my little sisters, she lives in Tennessee, but she's from Kentucky. So she
Okay.
says, yes, he is. He's from my hometown. TL Pratcher, awesome story. Tony Johnson, who's a phenomenal caterer. He's like, good interview. I mean, they just keep coming. So now we'll go back to that too, but I want to talk
Yeah.
about this GAPA. That is
Uh,
incredible.
well, GAPA stands for Gaffney Athletic Preparatory Academy. It's the nation's first teams college preparatory school Christian academy for sports enthusiasts that deals with the careers in sports, like sports medicine, sports marketing, sports communication, sports nutrition, all the things that society doesn't show you what sports is really about. And teams is the acronym. It's a new learning model. It's the acronym for technology, engineering, athletics, mathematics, and science, where we take the concepts of STEM and view them through the lenses of athletics. We actually, I got this in a dream and in a vision in 1999, December 1999. So it just come to manifestation that y'all can see it in December. So we celebrated with that. So with this school here, we'll be going from sixth grade to 12th, and we'll have a post grad. That's a 1 year after high school, and we're going to start this. The school actually starts this fall, where we'll start with the ninth grade and post grad. We a lot of people is a lot of people are inquiring, so we might open up a couple of other classes, but not sure at this moment.
Okay, because I'm all over the place because I'm super excited. There's so much we want to cover. So when I was watching
Okay.
your interview with the phenomenal, amazing Vera Jones, right, and
Oh, that's my girl.
your team
Yeah,
ownership for this new women's league, women's professional basketball association, you
right.
have a team
Correct.
and
Tennessee conductors.
Tennessee conductors, and you were talking
Right.
about they didn't get a chance to really start the season last year and how you were doing tryouts. And I was like, I want to go try out, but I'm like, they would leave me. No, I would rise to the occasion and go home and
Right.
pass out.
Well, we have tryouts on January the 30th, and so if
You're
you're,
so wrong.
hey, we have it right down the street. You be ready. You only about 5 hours from me. By the time you get to the facility, we'll be ready for you.
You see, one thing about me and my son, well, all of we love a challenge. You know, don't be surprised
Come on
if I
down.
show up.
Come on down. Come on down.
All right. So tell us about that. How did that happen?
Actually, the commissioner of the league, Miss, well, Lord, I just lost her name. Oh, it's gonna come to me. I hope she's not watching this because she's gonna be really mad. Tamika, yes, Miss Tamika. Oh, my Lord. Uh, she called me. They were looking for a team in Tennessee, and I had another team before, a men's team, and I was kind of not sure if I wanted to do it because the school has taken up a lot of time and is doing a lot, and we were in a lot of battles. We signing a where our facility is going to be, remodeling that stuff. I got paint on my hands now. Um, so when she called and she talked about it, I I was like, man, I just jumped at the chance because when I was younger, that's how I learned how to play basketball. That's how I learned how the positions of the basketball with the young lady named Margaret Harris. She was about 3 years older than me, maybe about 4 years older than me. She went to where did she go to? Uh, uh, she went to college. She was not Tulane. Uh, she went to a major college. She was one of the top girls out of Kentucky. Um, or Roberts. That's where she went. I don't know. You got me in days right now. Uh, so she went to, but in high school when I was probably in the sixth, seventh grade, and I would go to the park and I said, "Look, Margaret, what is a guard? What is a forward? What is a center? Can you tell me the positions, things of that nature?" And she taught me. And that was right after I first started learning how to play because my mom, I call my mom, she was probably about 16, 17 years old when I was, baby, when all this stuff started happening. And she just basically took me in, was that mother figure for me. And so as a guy in high school wanted to try to talk to her, but he knew that if he can go through me to her, he have a better chance. So he took me out, took me to the park, taught me how to shoot, play some ball. It didn't work out for him. It worked out for him for a little bit, but it didn't for long term. It didn't work out, but it worked out for me. So going back to Margaret, when it's talking about the Tennessee conductors, when you want to see real fundamentals to the highest degree, you will watch women's basketball. And I have my son that plays basketball because they footwork, they play hard. Yes, they athletic and all of that too, but they fundamentals are so great, and you'll learn so much by watching them. And it's going to. I'm excited about it because it's just so exciting to see these young ladies playing basketball and playing it at the highest degree,
The
and
highest
to be
level.
Yes, I mean when
Well,
you
I
see,
will be there. I
you
won't come
know,
and try out, but I'll come and cover it and help spread the word so we can get those who are more than capable to play. But my son
okay,
wanted me to mention to you that I used to coach boys basketball, teenage boys.
okay,
Um, and nobody wanted to coach them because they were, kids that they said were bad, right? They
right,
actually were in gangs. A couple of them were in gangs or knew people who were in gangs, and they would come to practice and they would be like, bruh, I'm gonna kill you, bruh. Somebody didn't do right what they wanted them to do. But long story short, by the end of the season, we weren't the total champ. We didn't win the whole like series, but
right.
we were like 2 or 3, right? And they would ask them, "You can't play until your coach comes." I'm there with my suit and my heels on, right? I'm girly girl. There's no way they would have
Right.
thought I was coaching. I was. And to this day, they'll see me out and say, "Hey, Coach McNary. Hey, Coach McNary." And
But you
I
know
knew
what?
fundamentals win games, right?
That always wins games, and you know when you have people that were in games or in that they know about teamwork, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, and a lot of them are, and mostly all of them are very very smart. Just chose a different path that um, doesn't end up well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But once you get them converted and with their mindset and their hard work and their knowledge, I mean, great business people, great people that are loyal to a group or a team.
Yeah.
So you could do nothing but win once you got them to work together.
Okay, I want to talk about enrollment and tell people when the school is going to open. Because are you looking for that student who is a top notch, very coachable, like ideal, and they will easily walk out of your school into a next program, college level, professional? Or is it inclusive of the kids I just told you I used to coach because my son felt like they needed a coach, and my sons felt like because they had stuff and their friends didn't, that
Mhm.
they deserved it too. And that's true, they did. Because their parents weren't doing it didn't mean they didn't deserve it. So what is the criteria for somebody, what you're looking for your new school?
Well, we're looking for people that have a love and desire to be in the sports world first. Someone that it has talent, either is if it's talent in medicine, talent in being an artist, talent in sports, and we want to show them how their talent and their love for sports, and we want to put that together. And so, from our standpoint, we're an international group, so we have kids coming from all over the world coming here. So basically, it's really to answer that question, people that have a love and desire to be in the sports world, because you can be a athletic sports enthusiasts that come here, or you could be a non-athletic sports enthusiast to come here and be able, but still, both of you have the love of sports because we want to teach you more than kicking a field goal or slam dunking things that are next. Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, I made a great career out of it, but we want to teach you something that when the crowd dies,
Yeah.
or when you get hurt, or you just decide that you don't want to do it anymore, that you still have that love and desire in your heart to be in that world. But how can I be that? And people see, LeBron James or any other professional athlete on TV and they say, "Oh, I want to be like him." But he has a capsule. I don't care. He's been there 15, 16 years, but it's about to be over soon. Now, his relationship with the sports, some going to broadcasting. But if you look at it, if you see him on TV, somebody wrote it, somebody's directing it, somebody's producing it, all those things, and you still in the sports world. And I was saying a little thing about artists earlier is all these facilities that are out here, the facility that I'm in now, um, other the different stadiums. Somebody had to be the architect of that facilities, and so you're in the sports world there. Society just really doesn't show everyone what are
Mm-mm.
some of the different avenues to stay in the sports world without your knees hurt.
Yeah, it takes a village, like we were talking earlier, to raise kids, I mean, children, and it certainly takes a village for the basketball industry, owners, managers, public relations people, sports agents, physical therapy. counselors. So I love how you're doing this, and I love how it's in Tennessee. It could have been anywhere in the world, but people
Yeah.
love you like that. So how can people get involved? Because I'm super excited about the opportunity that I had. Hi, Uncle Robert. If you ever need somebody to sing some gospel music that can just turn it out, my uncle and his group, the Peacemakers. So I'm just shouting out
Okay.
everybody on here.
Well, go. Actually, what's ironic when we didn't talk to Uncle Robert later on is that we were having a praise. We plan on having a praise concert in December. It's 2020, and it was the 20th year, and we was going to have different artists come in and have a concert, just giving praise. So we had actually a live. I did my first live. I was didn't know all what I was saying. I just talked from the heart and just did it. But to get involved with GAPA, you can go to our website, and then that's www.gapacademy.org, or you can follow us on all social media outlets. I don't have two or three of each one like you. I just got basically one. That is Gap Academy TN. And one right now we just starting our name a brick program, and where we're putting your name on the front of our academic sports center here in Cleveland, Tennessee, and first building that we're really occupying on this campus for GAPA. So it's a lot of people get involved that way. You can sponsor a kid to come. You can do so many different things. You can come here and help us paint. It's anything that and we're actually, and I'm not saying this to kind of separate us. And I just found this out that we're the only black private school of this magnitude we know in the South. And maybe they're still looking at it and saying in the nation of this type of private school of what we have. So I know the concept is the first one in the nation, but being the only private black operated is amazing. But one thing I say that reluctantly, because one thing about sports is no color when
Right.
you're in sports. It's you have teammates. You can be black, white, whatever. And also, one of the things that's great about that is you could be. It has no age. It has no ability. You could be a girl, a boy. You can, like I said, black, white, Chinese, any color, any person, but you're just a teammate. You just helping that person out. So it's really great what sports is. Sports is really how society should be.
Yeah. Inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so loving that, and I got the website up, but you can Google the school. And the thing that really touched me and made me tear up,
Uh oh.
yeah. Let me get on here close with you because I want you to know. And you're laughing, but we're gonna laugh some more. And it struck me, and it endeared me to you, you to me. Like there's a
Okay.
spot in my heart for you because you shared something that was so profound to me. Because when people are hearing this, they think, "Oh, he's Showtime. He thought about this school. God gave him the vision, and he ran with it, and it happened." But you said it's been 20 years since you had
Yeah.
that vision, how you will be going, and like in 1999, you'd be on the bus before you went to sleep because you're a sleepyhead. And and you said you had the vision how you you would write stuff down and how important Habakkuk 2:2 is for you. Can you talk about that? Because I think that will really inspire a lot of people.
Well, when I got the vision, it was one night in December in 1999, and it was funny. It told me to write down the month and the year. I was like, okay, but it was sports and education. I was like, what are you talking about? But I just started writing and trying to figure out, is it a sports complex that has some education? What is the whole concept about it? And over the years, it actually just came up. It just came really to me how it was, and it always formulated. It got better, and like it just cut off back. And I remember a lot of people's like, man, this is too big. This elephant is too big. How can you're gonna have to take pieces out of it. And I even opened up a restaurant. I had a restaurant because I was like, okay, I'll do the restaurant. Then we'll go into the facility. Right when I retired, we'll go into the facility that way when I was in Houston. And I knew in my heart, it's like, no, the facility was, this is a part of the vision. This is not the vision. And so the restaurant, it was during 2008 to 2010. We had the big crash. I mean, it seemed like somebody just cut holes in my pocket and money just was running out. And so I got really disappointed, and I didn't know what was going on. But it always was calling me, like, moving forward, just keep coming, keep coming. And I went through a part of life that I could say this. I went to it was a facility when we moved here to Tennessee, and I just knew this was it. This was the place. This was going to be Chattanooga. We were going to do it, and it fell through. And they called me, and it hurt me so bad. And I remember I was right by University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and I said, God, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with it. I can't. I'm not doing this no more. And it felt like somebody punched me in my chest. Boom! And I just stopped. I said, "Oh Lord, I repent. I'm sorry. Okay, how long it takes, whatever it takes, we'll do it." And that was actually probably about 8 years ago when that happened. But everything, it just kept pulling. And even the down times, I coached, worked at the school. That was some of the best times. I worked at a school here called Ultra Knob. It was middle school, but it was what they call the last choice middle school. It's like they come to our school, and then we had the youth center next door, the youth juvenile center across the street, and it was really, at the time, it was really bad. It's gotten better. They got a great principal. I had 3 principals in 5 years.
Ooh.
And it was no, in 4 years I had 3 principals, but I stayed there a little longer with her. But one of the things that was great about that, I got to learn about schools. I got to learn from the principal, and I learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned if I would have jumped into it a lot earlier. So it's all about timing. He always, he gives you that provision. But people think it's provision like it's money, but
Money.
Always is a place.
Yeah.
There's always a place that you're supposed to be in. That's where you find your provision. And I'm not trying to go. Now you got me going scripture, but
Don't preach.
but Abraham, when he took his son up there, and he was going to sacrifice his son, he was in the right place. And God said, "No, don't harm." The angel came and said, "Don't harm the son. Your sacrifice is over there in the bush."
Yeah.
He had the sacrifice already ready, but if he wasn't at that place at the right time, the provision wouldn't have been there. So if you look at everything that says provision, he said, and then he named that place. He didn't name that God was. He said he named that place the place of provision, God's provision. So everything is really where you're supposed to be. You listen, and right where we are right now is the place that we're supposed to be. I got to be on your show. I got to get you to come down here, to take your heels off, to put some Nikes on, to get your game on. See, look at that form. It's already there. You already on our
you are such a trip. You go from preaching to joking, just like you did on the court. You did extreme. I love it. Okay, let me read some more of these comments, and then I want to say something else. And they also it was publicly announced that where you were trying to get to, they just like, man, that's crazy. Don't get this place. Yeah. So he was up against a lot of obstacles, and I think we missed the mark when we think we have to have the money. And I know for me, it wasn't always about having the money. It was connections. It was God's favor. It was doing the hard stuff and then finding that there was a blessing. So you can say, I don't even have enough gas to get to where I said I was going to be. And I promise you, if you just go, and you have faith and you don't concentrate on the running out of gas, if I do this, you concentrate on what you're going to give once you get there. And I promise you, every time God will meet your need if you out doing the hard part. So, Nick said, this is so motivational. Let me put some of these comments up. This is going crazy. You got to come back. We got something going here.
And, people think it's one thing I like about this is that, it's all about your faith. It's not about nobody else's faith. It's your faith. It's what you believe, how you, like you talking about, if you go, you don't how to have gas to go. But if you don't have the faith to go, it's on you. It's not on anyone else. And what's great about that also is that you can have somebody that don't believe what you don't, oh, that's crazy. No, that's not. You didn't hear from God, but you know that you heard from God. That doesn't affect your journey. That's just somebody you just push to the side. But what's great about it, if the person that agrees is two or more agree at one thing, it only adds to it. So you can never take away from your faith. Nothing takes away from your faith but you. And that's
there's no subtraction in kingdom work.
No.
It's only adding, addition, and multiplication. Okay, Monica wants us to stay on the gap, and so she wants you to tell us. Okay. She knows I'm all over the place because I like having real conversation. It's never scripted. So we do our thing, and it's all about inspiring people, engaging them, and having a good time, and at the same time honoring God. So tell us the sports, because that is huge. Because you already have a tennis court, you have a baseball field, a football field, soccer. You got the whole thing going on.
Well, we're going to start off with 8 sports. We're going to start off with 8.
I didn't even know it was more than 8.
Yes, it's 8. It's only 8. We're going to start off with 8. We could do, but we're starting off with 8. We're starting off with basketball for girls and boys. We're starting off with volleyball. We're starting off with baseball and softball, track, and we're going to start off with soccer, girls and boys. And then we're going to have competitional cheer, because cheerleading is a sport, and we want to be able to show their talent. And then we're going to have esports. That rounds up our 8. Yes, I mean that's the technology. It's something that is really big out there, and there's not too many people, not too many schools in Tennessee or around that have esports as a actual sport, and we're definitely going to have it. We want to be on the cutting edge of everything.
I love that. So, Monica, we're getting all our assignments done and having fun too. We have a couple of more minutes, maybe 5. So I'm trying to find some questions.
I know she gave me a set time, but I'm loving what we're doing. Let's do. Let's go. I don't have nothing to do.
All right. Okay. Get somebody to go get you some dinner, because we're going to be here a while. These people got a lot of questions. Okay, the brick. Yeah, we talked about the brick, and my sons are watching, and I don't want to dampen the mood, but I did a brick in honor of my son, Brandon McNary, who was a basketball enthusiast, fanatic. He loves Shaquille O'Neal. Brandon was, at 15, he was already wearing a size 14 shoe and about 6'3". But God called him home when he was 16. And so I did a brick in honor of him. And I'm going to do another brick in honor of him, too. And then in honor of the ones I still have with me, because they are such a blessing. So tell them about the special that you got, because February the 1st, that brick is going to be more expensive.
Right. Right now on our Gap of Legacy wall, you enter into the academic sports camp, academic sports center, it's $100. We're doing to February 1st, because we want all our family and friends, people that's been there. I don't want no excuses for you not to have your name and being a part of Legacy. And so yes, till February 1st, and then it goes a little higher after that. But you got to February 1st to put your name on a wall on something that is, again, the first of its kind in the nation, and to be able to be a part of something that was going to reach the next generations, not generation, but generations.
Okay, is there like an email sign up where we can get newsletters and information about events and how business owners can come? And of course, we're going to do background checks. They can come volunteer or come and paint, or have a day where they come pick up, trash or leftovers, or just mentor the kids or tutor or something like that.
Y'all for sure. We're gonna do background checks and we're gonna have masks on. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do all of that. And you can go to our website to gapacademy.org. And again, that's gapacademy.org. And you can follow us, definitely follow us on Gap Academy TN on all social media outlets that you will be able to see some updates. You'll see you if you didn't catch me coming on the show live, you'd have known that because we put that out there. So we got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Actually, we got a sports show that's about to start also called Showtime in the City. And
Showtime in the city.
yeah,
Awesome. Tell us about that.
well, this show we talk about sports and how sports relates to not only the athlete but the parents and also the community. And we want to see how because sports people just think it's the athlete, but the
Yeah.
parents got to take them there. They've been riding them all the time. They got their friends. They feeding them. They coming to the gym in high heels, coaching. They have all these different things going on that the parents and stuff go through. And then for the community, not only that it is something exciting to be able to go to the games and seeing this athlete play, but it's also bringing in economic development for them. And so, because people come in to see these great athletes perform, and they're some of the most brilliant people out there. There's athletes to be able to adjust in a matter of seconds and think about plays and think about how people to react to things, how to react to people or react to things that are happening in the game. So
Yeah.
this sports show is all about sports and how it affects everybody that's involved.
That is so awesome. Okay, I have a question, and we have a ton of questions. I won't get to them. I'm overwhelmed looking at them. But because I know just because you don't get picked for a high school team
Right.
doesn't mean you're not as good as somebody who did get picked. And sometimes it's if the coach like you or he doesn't. Maybe it's your grades. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But can you talk to students who maybe tried out for a sport or who's thinking about trying out for a sport but don't think they're good enough, and how they shouldn't just let that define who they are if they don't make a team at school?
Well, the first problem that you have if you don't think you're good enough because you only react to what you think you are. If you think you're not good, then you're not going to be good. If you think that you're not going to make it and you're just going out to do it, then you're not going to do it. So those kind of things right there is the first thing is how you think of yourself. And then and if you don't make it, okay, you tried. Well, I didn't have this school at the beginning. It took me 20 years to get here. People talking about overnight success. That's a long night. So one of those things.
I love that. I'm going to use that. I may give you credit for it. Oh, that's a long night.
That's a
Yeah.
long night. It's been a long night, but you really got to go after what you really believe in. And
Yeah.
so those people don't make it. Okay, but
Okay, so somebody
again,
wants to know, yeah,
mhm,
you don't make it, and sometimes you're gonna get no, but don't let that define who you are. You try again, or you can't get in that, then go and create your own team, create
no,
your own league.
you could create that also. But think about it. If you still have a love and desire to be in the sports world, it's other avenues to be in there other than
Yes,
the
yeah.
physical piece. That's what we're trying to show you here at GAPA.
I love that. It's room for everybody who wants to be there in the sports industry, whether
But
you're performing arts or creative arts. Think of that in terms of being an athlete, whether you just want to design, the scoreboard, or, how many seats can you get in an arena, or you want to be an agent for somebody. So Brian Jones has a really good question, a really good
uh,
question. He says, does the website show you how to buy a brick?
yes, it does. Actually, I think they're redoing it right now, and it will be out. We thought it was going to be they will be done tonight, but it's going to be the first thing tomorrow morning that it will
Okay.
show you all the avenues for those things.
All right. And so one of my good friends in Jackson, Tennessee,
Jackson, I like that.
Deborah, she has a new book out too. She
Okay,
says Gap Academy is added to her family donation for 2021.
all right.
Wonderful place to teach our legacies.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, she's a her husband is a veteran. He may still
Okay.
be active, or he just recently retired, but they moved all across the world. So they may
Mm.
have seen you play in Japan because they've
Yes,
lived in
ma'am.
Japan and Brazil and all these other fantastic places. So when I say people love you, they
Oh wow.
love you, and they're
Well,
going to
thank you.
support you. Don't you doubt about no doubt about it.
Thank you. Well, I've been to 93 countries. I could have seen her somewhere.
93 countries.
93 countries. Yes, it's
Wow.
remarkable. A coal miner son going to 93 countries.
Okay, so
That
when they
is
do the movie about your life, you got to write me in. I can be, let me be somebody.
Hey, this is one of the most comfortable interviews I ever done. Oprah's wasn't this comfortable.
Okay, see, I already sent the money for the brick and told you I'm going to buy at least two more. Okay, I got to buy another brick for that amount. Monica, did you hear what he just said? Yay. Okay, so South Africa, bricks can also be paid for by Cash App. Yes. Let me
Yes,
put this up here. And even if you can't do $100, maybe you can do $20. Like my sons, I'm sure they're going to, Nick Nova, he's probably going to take one of his other business partners and they can get 50 a piece and get a brick, right?
correct.
So
Yes.
we're going to get that. We're going to get these bricks done
Yeah.
and get it done before February 1st because I don't know how much it's going to be. Oh, wait till I get my income tax refund. Well, you just got some stimulus money. Put that to good
Yeah,
use. So
right.
you have been a phenomenal guest, and I'm super excited to have you. I was tired, and I'm like, I just feel so energized. I'm so
Well,
happy
thank
about.
you.
And when people say you have to choose, because God's giving you so many things to do. You have the WP, the Women's Professional Basketball Association. You have
Right.
GAFNA. You are still doing your interviews and speaking around the world about being a former Harlem Globetrotter. And you told me something else you were doing. You just
Well,
do so much.
the paint.
I'm painting right now, right?
But
Don't even
one of the
show us
things
your
that,
hand. He has paint on
oh
his
my
hand,
God,
so he say.
yeah, I still got paint. I really just changed to coming here for this.
And we
But
have something else in common too.
what's that?
We have both been in the presence and have pictures with us with Nelson Mandela, the
Oh
Honorable.
yeah. Oh my
Tell us
God. Yeah.
about that before you go.
That was actually one of the most memorable and most special things. It was two. Playing in front of my grandmother for the first time, that was definitely number one. But meeting President Mandela was a life changing situation for me. We were the first professional team to play in the free and democratic South Africa. We went there. We were in the palace, and we were waiting for him to come in. And we were looking, say, we were looking north. He came from the south end of it, but you knew the aura that came in that room when he came in there. You knew somebody was special was there. And we turned around. We met. I met. I know the family. Um, I was there a little earlier, but I didn't know. I didn't get to meet him. I was there for some promotional stuff. Met the family. We all came friends, still friends to the day. But what was special was when we came back the next year. We came back the next year, and he was saying hello to everybody. Hello, hey, how y'all doing? How you doing? He said, "Showtime, Showtime, how you doing?" And I was like, "Did he just say my name?" Maybe I mean, like I was in a daze for a minute. I was. Did he? No. Can you say that again, please? One of those moments. And then he said that it just really changed my name because someone that how notable, that regal, that can know your name. What am I not to be able to greet people that come to me and look up to me or say any kind words to me that I don't recognize or be able to just sit down and say something to them that can affect them the same way they affected me, the same way he affected me, rather.
That is such a beautiful story. I've seen you tell it on other interviews, but you never told it like that. And each time I hear it, it
Respect you.
touches my
Respect
heart
you.
to say how amazing he was. And he told me that I told him I had the five sons, right? Somebody
Uh-huh.
introduced us. And he says, in Africa, I would be a queen.
Yes.
I said, wow, because I have the 5 boys, right? That's
Yeah.
a thing to have.
Mhm.
Boys. You have boys, you're special. And I will never, ever forget that moment. And it happened, oh my goodness, 20 years. It happened a long
Yeah.
time ago, 1990 something.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that moment in time.
Can I
Never,
can I mention
ever.
one other thing? And what you
Yeah.
said, you said you telling me all, saying all the things that I'm doing. But to think about it, it's all about sports. Everything I'm
Hmm.
doing, sports and
Yeah, it's
education.
all tied together. Yeah.
It's all tied together.
It's
So,
layers.
right. So it's not that I guess you're doing a lot of things. It's one. It's one flyer. I can't even talk. You got me all tongue tied. I've been like this about. Anyway, a fire. What is that thing called when it come out the ground that has beautiful colors, like a rose with different petals? So this
Okay,
is
that thing.
this
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah,
It's like
and
a
it
rose.
is. It's connected. So you're
Yeah,
full circle like
a
me.
flyer.
I do.
Yeah, I can't even talk. Jesus, man.
Don't even try to text me and tell me what it was later because it don't matter.
It's a rose. We say it's a rose with different petals. So forgive me, all of y'all that's listening to me. I really
And
have
I
an
see it
education.
so
I'm the
clearly, and I
dude.
can't even help you. I can't even help you. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I do TV, radio. I wrote some books. I'm a speaker, and I have a news magazine. And it's all the same message about inspiration, empowering single parents, and making people feel good and challenging them to get in the game, right?
Right.
And yeah, we had a tough 2020. Yes, we did. But God does not change. He was still doing amazing things. I had an incredible 2020 as a mom. My sons were all here. We were all together. My business was just really impacted in a positive way. Did I lose some people that I love and care about to COVID-19? Yes. Did it hurt? Yeah. But I can't just take that and say my whole year was horrible because God is bigger and better than that and he deserves that. So I just want people to live and
Yeah.
believe that there is something on the inside of you. It may not be basketball academies and league ownership and, traveling to 93 countries, but it's something. And it
It
is
could be a
just as
cleaning
important to
service.
this world.
It could be a cleaning service. I got a nephew right now that is making so much money just on a cleaning service.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing cleaning, going to different buildings. They hiring him to do hotels, cleaning and stuff of that nature. That is doing so well. So it's not about. It's all about what he tells you to do, not
Yeah.
what somebody else is doing. Stay
Yeah.
what you are told to do, and then that's
And
what.
then do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah,
Have pride in it. If you
yeah.
like, who was that said, if you're a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper in the
Martin
world.
Luther King. Martin Luther King
Yeah,
said that.
Martin Luther King said
Yeah,
that. And there's no need, there is no, everything matters in this earth and in
everything
kingdom.
matters.
There is no, like your toe, stump your toe and see how far you're going to walk.
You're right.
Your little toe. It's super important. So
Yeah,
whatever you get to do it with pride and excellence, whether a million people are watching you or nobody's watching you because you think nobody's watching you, but
right.
somebody's watching you. All of us impact somebody.
Yes. I mean, again, this building wouldn't be here if somebody couldn't build it. These
Yeah.
things couldn't be here, without a carpenter, well, me a painter too, but without
Yeah,
a
that's what you
carpenter.
say. You got to come inspect that paint.
But I mean, you couldn't do that, and a lot of people, plumbing, all that stuff
Yeah.
matters. Where's your
Yeah.
talent located at? Go where your talent is at, and then the lovers follow.
Yeah. I just want people to live their life, to
Yeah,
live. I see people who, like, I'll go to the gym when I would go, and I would see this one lady. She has one leg, and she would outdo me on the treadmill. I'm trying to keep up and do work better than her, right? I would go to the car about to cry and die.
right.
But if she can do that,
Yeah,
then just think what somebody can do who does not have that differently challenged, because I don't believe in handicap. We all learn differently, we all differently challenged. So I just want everybody to get involved, find your thing,
yeah,
find your reason, and just go make it happen. And I promise you, if you take one step, God's going to take some gigantic steps on your behalf, but not until you take some steps. Move, put some
yeah.
action, move.
You got faith without actions. You got to do. You got to do some action. You got to do some work. And
Yeah.
you're not doing the work. You just working towards what you know he told you to do. And you know,
Yeah.
one thing I'm gonna say, and I know we got to go because you're rushing me off this interview, um, is that one thing that you said, you know, you said you lost some people in 2020 and you had some great gains and some great things that happened. But you know, the reason why those gains and those things happened because you took the focus off the bad and focused on that good that kept driving you to success all of 2020 and beyond. So again, I'm very happy to be on your show. Um, you got me tongue tied. I couldn't even get my words out tonight, but I hope everybody understood what I was trying to say, and I think they had a great time. It's usually not like this, so but I'm happy, and it's very impressive of what you're doing and all the things that you are accomplishing. And I'm just glad that I can call you a legend. You legendary with Gappa, you're legendary with me. So thank you so much.
See, now you about to make me cry. I'm a big baby. Oh, I cry, honey. I'll shed some tears. Oh Lord, happy tears, happy
Yeah.
tears. Okay, I know you got to go, and you got to promise me this one thing.
What's that?
You'll come back.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for
Okay.
sure. My
Okay.
pleasure.
Awesome. And we'll be going to your website. We're gonna purchase those bricks. We're gonna do it. If you don't want your name on the brick, put somebody's name on there. Put the Loretta
Yeah.
McNary Show on there. Put Gappa Academy on the brick.
Right.
Just don't have an excuse not to support this. And if you need more information, just Google me, come to my website, DM me for a good reason this time, and ask me how to cash out Showtime. Now quit playing. You know these DMs get crazy. I can't
Hey,
even look.
hey, whoever DM, you doing a great job. Go ahead. That's all right. Go and shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. That's all you can do is shoot your shot. Go for it. Go for. If you don't go for something, go for the best. If you're gonna go,
Your birthday is October 31st or something like that, right?
my
Okay,
birthday
I
is
got you.
January 26th, 2 days before yours. Now,
You're so right. Hey, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know we had a great time. We shared. We almost cried together.
yeah,
Got some good information out, and people know you more than just being Showtime because you still Showtime, just differently, and you
yeah.
still do it at such an amazing high level. So we appreciate your excellence in all you do. We thank you for your yes to God and that vision that He gave you in December 1999. And I'm looking for bigger and better things, and see you definitely at the top, dude.
Yes, most definitely. We hey, like Waterboy say, high five, high five, high five, high five.
Okay, everybody, in closing, you can almost say it with me because I've been saying it for years. In closing, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye, everybody.